thank you so much for speaking with me and sharing your story. I'm so pleased to have you on. It's been a while since we've seen each other. With you and your family, you're busy, so I know that. You have 3 beautiful girls, and I've seen pictures of them. And so can you start by just kind of sharing with us a brief summary of your motherhood journey?
I think long story short is I didn't want to have children for a long time. I was in my 20s. It was not on my list of things to do, to check off. I had to get my degree and then another degree and get the PhD by the time I was 30. And then by the time that happened, I was happy just not going to school for about 5 years. And then it hit me, maybe my house is a little empty. I've been married 10 years. It's time to have kids, not a must on my list. It was, I feel like my heart wasn't quite full. And so by that time, I still had not had a period. It was already 13 or 14 years, no period. And the doctor just said I had a sleepy head. Couldn't get it restarted. So we had to try IUI a few times here at UCSD. And then I went to India. I had hired a surrogate mother, implanted 4 embryos in her. That didn't work out, came home, and I was on my way back home from a trip from Wisconsin at the airport, and I thought, I'm going to do something different. And I was at the airport, and I saw, fertility acupuncture. And I think I called Julie right from the airport, and she's like, well, we might need to make an appointment. How soon can you see me was my question. And I thought, do something different. I've tried everything under the books. Try something radically different that's maybe not published or documented, but something that just might take me to a different level. And I think Julie said, slow down. I went to my endocrinologist. I said, can you sign my FMLA? I need to take some time off. I left my job. I quit that job. I slowed down. And I think I got my period 2 months after I started with Julie, and then pregnant with me at the 3rd month. It was just crazy.
In your case, your situation was really exceptional because, and I don't want it glossed over, because you were actually, from a technical standpoint, you were one of my more difficult patients. I can say this now because,
but I know I was.
Because 3 kids later, I can totally say this now. But, I mean, technically, the fact that you had not had your period for pretty much your entire adult life.
I know, it was crazy.
Yeah. So can you actually give a little bit of background about that? Like, did you ever get, as a teenager, like how long did you get that? What was that like? And at what point did that stop?
Well, I was never regular as a teenager. And then in college, I went on Depo, prepare birth control one time, and then I came off of it, and my period came back. But when I was dating my husband, I started again on Depo. I was in graduate school and just could not have a child at that time. And I remember the lady saying, oopsie, I have to do it again. Like it was a double dose of the Depo. And I just went into these like crazy maniac hot flashes or something for 3 or 4 months after that. I never got my period after that. I was 22.
Yeah, so you were 22, and so you had not had your period from the age of 22 until you started working with me, which was at what age?
37.
Was that? 37. And then so we worked together for a few months, and so what was the diagnosis that your doctor gave you for that period of just amenorrhea, no period?
Yeah, right, amenorrhea. She just said, it's just sleepy.
Oh, that was the scientific explanation?
He didn't know. He just said, your brain is just sleepy. It needs to wake up. And it was weird because when I was 22, I was 45 pounds heavier than I am now. And then I lost some weight before my wedding. Mm-hmm. And then I did some competing after we got married. Mm-hmm. But it's not the competing that shut down my cycle. It was when I had the birth control. It's just I never got regulated again.
Okay. So it was the Depo-Provera that you would attribute to stopping your period completely.
Right.
And so fortunately for you, you responded beautifully to acupuncture. And you were able to get pregnant. Within how many months was that?
Well, I started with you in July, so the next month, August, I had my period. And I was only with you 3 months.
For viewers, she's not standard. And so don't expect to get your period. If you don't have a period, don't expect to get it the next month. Usually for most women who have amenorrhea, it does take a little time for that to go back. So you got pregnant at 38, gave birth at 39, and then you came back for your second and your third. Why did you need to come back?
Well, not that I needed to. I think part of it is just regulating, getting my mindset, making sure I have, finding an hour of time for yourself during the week is harder than most people realize.
It is.
And away from my 1-year-old at that time who wanted attention. And so to go to acupuncture, make sure I'm on a schedule. I'm one of those people that needs a trainer. Like I can train people, but I still need somebody on my back. Doctors have to go to doctors. So I went back. So I think it took 6 months to get my period after I had, and then it was still really irregular because that was like the first time since I was in my early 20s that I had my second period after my first child.
So it was more of a proactive measure on your part.
Yeah, just trying to get everything settled down.
Yeah, that was smart for sure.
So then I was like, it worked the first time. I wanted them close together in age.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice because then I got pregnant. So they're 2 years apart. And then I had to beg my husband for the third one. It happened faster than we thought because after the second one was born, my period literally just became really regular every 28 to 30 days, every month.
Oh.
So it was, I think, a little easier.
Now you have 3 healthy babies, girls. And after that first positive pregnancy, what was your reaction? Because it had been so long, and you had gone through such a journey. I mean, you even went to India to have a surrogate. That didn't work out. Like, what was your reaction?
I was shocked. I was in disbelief. I didn't even want to do a pregnancy test. My husband, we were in Boston for my sister's baby shower, and that morning he's like, "You need to take the test." I'm like, no, I'm not going to my sister's parade. It's her baby shower today. No, do it. And I did the test. I'm like, it's negative. Can't you see? It's like, what are you talking about? It's like plus me negative or something, double false positive. So no, I was just shocked. And then when I called my mom, she said, "Are you okay?" Like she was, I don't know, thought I was in the hospital or something. What kind of response is that? Not like congratulations. Like, "Are you okay?" She didn't believe it.
So once you got over the initial shock, what did that develop into? Was it just excitement, or did you start getting worried about?
No, I was never. I'm not a worry wart. Yeah, no, not worried, excited, kind of surprised that it actually happened. Like, what if I had done this years ago? Saved me all the agony. Glad I slowed down and just take a time out. So busy keeping up with the day-to-day.
Yeah, and kudos to you for actually doing that, because a lot of people have a hard time really ratcheting back that need to be productive. It is very difficult.
Hard.
So, yeah, it is
very hard.
Yeah, especially if you've been successful in other areas of your life, especially like your career. It's like, wait a minute, because it seems so counterintuitive. It seems like, if you want to get something achieved, you have to do more, right? And
gotta go get it. Gotta go after it.
Yeah.
Right? Gotta work harder. Gotta take control of the situation.
Yeah.
It's weird to relinquish control and I'm just gonna go relax. Can't say no to that for an hour.
So was that difficult for you to, to say, I'm going to take a few months off of work and just really focus on myself and just really kind of slow down? Was that a hard pivot for you?
I think once I made the decision, it was easy. It was getting there, but in your heart, when you're ready, like I was ready to try something new, do something different.
To do what it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what did I have to lose? I mean, working more, the job's not going to really care about my personal life. They're not going to look after me. They're not going to say, hey, do you need to take a day to the spa? Do you need to relax? Nobody's going to take care of me except me.
Right. Right. Exactly. And then, you know what? And I tell clients too, you have the rest of your life to work.
Yeah.
You only have a pretty short period of time to start your family and get that rolling. And so it's going to have to be a matter of priorities in
Yeah.
terms of what you want. And so, and I do remember as we're talking now, like how much I appreciated that about you in terms of being a client of mine, that you did implement everything that I asked. You may not have liked it. I remember specifically like eating the more meat. I'm like, eat more meat to get your period started.
Okay.
And you were a bit resistant about it, but you did it. And you know, like everything you did, you did it. And so, and that was one of the things that I just really appreciated about you, is like, you might have had the initial resistance, but at a certain point, you were committed enough to giving it a try, doing something completely different, that you're willing to just bite your tongue and bite the bullet and just go for it. And so, and that's one thing that I've always appreciated about you. So, what's a lesson that you learned during those during those challenging times that, you know, you will pass on to your kids?
Persevere, right? When you encounter one obstacle and it doesn't work, I hate to say don't give up. Not that it's always going to work for everybody, but there's always a solution. Even if it's not having your own baby, you can always adapt, right? You can always take care of other people's kids. Oh, of course, try to have your own, definitely, no question. But I just feel like we're always quick to just give up, right? You know, that train for a marathon, there's one way to train, and there's not. There's many ways to train for any kind of running race, right? You can cross train, you can just run, you can. So I think it's kind of the same with this life and having a family. There's no right way, there's no right path, and I think we got sometimes stuck in that. In the old days, they just like they were at home, moms were at home. The stress level was different, and the expectations were different. So I guess just and really think about what is it that you really want deep down inside. Do you really want to have kids, or you just need that companionship, right? Or you just want to see those cute little faces, right? Or just different reasons for wanting to have kids. And I don't think a lot of people think beyond the initial reaction or thought of having kids. They just see it as a glamorous event and don't realize that there's growth that happens, right? Ups and downs.
Yeah.
Life cycle.
Yeah, that's actually really insightful, that what you brought up, because a lot of people have different reasons for wanting to have kids, and it's not necessarily because it's truly their heart's desire. You know, a lot of times, it's just because they see other people doing it, and it just becomes like, oh, I should be doing that too. But they don't really look deeply within themselves to really think about what is it about that particular journey that I want. And it is because, you know, your life turns upside down completely. Right.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, and it has many more good parts, but there are also challenges as well, especially in the beginning, you know, and with all of that. So yeah, I thank you for that insight in terms of really digging into why you want to be a mother.
Yeah, exactly. What is the why for anything, really, right?
Yeah.
What is the why for going to work? So I think it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
But so glad that I was able to have my girls. I can't even remember pre-kids, and we were married 14 years. What was that? I don't even know. It's like that whole
it's been wiped out in the chaos.
It's like I've had children for 7 years, but married for 14. I don't remember any of that pre-kid era. It's totally gone. But I'm glad we had that time together. No question.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing your story. And I just wish you the best with your beautiful family and your little girls who are not so little anymore. Thank you.